She was an actress with big potential. Then Brittany Murphy died young. Well, now a new HBO Max documentary is looking into the star's troubled final years.
Brittany, please come back.
She evidently collapsed in the bathroom.
Ashton Kutcher just flipped on Diddy, and the streets are buzzing that he's about to spill proof on Diddy's dirty secrets about Brittany Murphy's tragic passing. Ever since whispers of the feds possibly reopening Brittany's case started swirling, things have been spiraling fast for Diddy. And guess what? It just got messier. One of Diddy's own tight-knit homies is rumored to be gearing up to snitch on him. Buckle up, because what's coming next is gonna blow your mind. Diddy's name has been plastered all over headlines ever since he got busted last September, and the scandals keep stacking up. The music mogul is now facing a whole stack of wild charges, including trafficking, racketeering, transporting people for prostitution, and forcing them into labor under brutal conditions. His trial officially kicked off this month, and let me tell you, things are heating up big time. As more alleged victims step forward, everyone's digging deep into Diddy's shady past, trying to connect the dots. Folks are searching for any signs they might have missed, especially about the people he kept around. And guess whose name keeps popping up like a bad penny? Ashton Kutcher. Now, if you're just tuning in today, you might not instantly link Ashton Kutcher with Diddy, but guess what? These two have actually been tight for years. Even though Ashton's vibe towards Diddy took a sharp turn after his arrest, sources like OK Magazine are saying they go way back to the early 2000s and they clicked right away. Ashton even spilled the tea about those early days on a 2019 episode of Hot Ones. He called their friendship bizarre, and it all kicked off with an epic moment from Punk'd. Diddy straight up told him, "Yo, you can't punk me." And Ashton fired back with, "I don't know what to tell you. Everybody is on the table." That back and forth lit the spark for their bromance. And from there, they started hanging out heavy, watching football together and everything. But now, with Diddy's legal troubles under the microscope, everybody's giving his circle of friends the side eye, especially since Diddy and Ashton's names keep getting tied to Brittany Murphy's sudden and mysterious passing. Brittany's shocking death in 2009 rocked all of Hollywood, and the mystery still hasn't been cleared up. According to reports, Brittany collapsed in the bathroom of her home, where she lived with her husband, Simon Monjack, and her mom, Sharon Murphy. Things went downhill fast, and Sharon was the one who called 911. Brittany was rushed to Cedars-Sinai in Los Angeles, but heartbreakingly, she didn't make it.
Fire Department 97, what's the address of the emergency?
1895 Rising Glen Road.
What's the phone number you're calling from? Tell me exactly what happened.
Oh, somebody's passed out.
Somebody what?
My daughter's passed out. They're doing mouth to mouth. Please get here quick,
okay,
please.
okay. All right, we're going to. How old is your daughter?
She's 30, please hurry.
She's 30?
The official story back then was that Brittany died from pneumonia, but let's be real. A lot of people never bought that. Brittany's friends later stepped up, saying she'd confided in them that she felt like she was being watched. Even scarier, she suspected she was being poisoned slowly. Can you believe that? And if that wasn't already creeping everyone out, get this. There are some seriously unsettling parallels between Brittany's death and the 2018 passing of Kim Porter, Diddy's ex and the mother of 3 of his kids. Just like Brittany, Kim reportedly told people close to her that she was scared for her life in the weeks before she passed. And guess what? The LA County coroner said Kim died of lobar pneumonia, the same rare pneumonia that was listed on Brittany's autopsy.
During a little dip she was having, he came along. And I think that's where her judgment was muddled and she became prey.
Simon said that he was the largest collector of Vermeer, dated Elle Macpherson and Madonna. He said that he had been dying from terminal brain cancer and that he had bought an experimental treatment derived from the fins of sharks. Every single word out of his mouth was a lie.
We all were scared and freaked out. Like, who was this guy?
Once they got married, they were holed up in that house 24/7.
Nope.
Now come on, are we really supposed to believe that 2 young, healthy women just happened to drop dead from the same rare pneumonia type while both living in fear? It's just too much of a coincidence for a lot of people to swallow. And it gets even more suspicious. Kim Porter was allegedly working on a tell-all book and was reportedly getting ready to air out some serious dirt on Diddy, maybe even working with the feds. And then, just like that, she dies under strange circumstances. And let's not forget, Brittany's husband Simon Monjack didn't even want an autopsy done on her. That raised a ton of eyebrows. Legally, he couldn't block it, so the coroner moved forward anyway and ruled her death accidental, blaming pneumonia, anemia, and multiple drug intoxication as the contributing factors. But people aren't buying it. But even that didn't bring any closure, especially since Simon himself died just a few months later, in the same house, from pneumonia and anemia too. Now that's where things start getting real weird. According to ABC News, the coroner's office straight up refused to reveal what substances were found in Brittany Murphy's system at first. And you already know that just poured gasoline on the suspicion fire. Simon was quick to jump in and downplay everything during an interview with People, claiming Brittany was only taking some herbal remedies, period meds, and cough syrup. Nothing dangerous, nothing that could mess with her heart. But fans weren't having it. Something just felt way off. And it didn't help that Brittany's mom, Sharon, backed Simon's story, swearing up and down that Brittany never did drugs or even drank alcohol. At first, Sharon tried floating the idea that Brittany might have had some secret heart condition. But what really got folks side-eyeing the whole thing was Brittany's own words. She had apparently been telling friends for weeks that she felt like she was being poisoned. Yep, poisoned! And it gets even more chilling. Brittany was reportedly so paranoid that she was convinced someone was out to get her. She even installed fingerprint locks and CCTV cameras all around her house. Now, that's not something you do unless you're seriously scared for your life. And then, as if all of this wasn't already creepy enough, the mold theory started floating around after Brittany's death. There were whispers flying around that Brittany's Hollywood Hills home was crawling with toxic mold. Both Simon and Sharon suddenly started claiming that maybe that was what killed her. But here's the thing, when investigators asked to run mold tests to confirm it, they both flat out refused. I mean, if they really thought mold was the culprit, why block the inspection? It just doesn't add up. And get this, pathologist Dr. Richard Shepard completely shut down the mold theory, saying there wasn't a single trace of fungi in Brittany's lungs or bloodstream. So we can cross that off the list. But Brittany's growing fear of being poisoned? Now that is still hanging over everything, and it paints a terrifying picture. In her last months, she reportedly became super paranoid, avoiding food and drinks from certain spots because she thought someone was trying to harm her. She even told her close friends that powerful people in Hollywood were watching her, and these were people with seriously bad intentions. And don't even get me started on her husband, the sketchy guy right in the middle of this whole nightmare. He was older, shady, and just gave off all the wrong vibes. Brittany met him when she was only 17, and his reputation was already a hot mess. There were whispers of fraud, manipulation, and all kinds of shady dealings. A lot of Brittany's friends were convinced he was taking advantage of her. And now, looking back, it's hard not to think they might have been right. Their relationship was strange, isolating, and let's be real, possibly dangerous. And don't forget, Simon died just 5 months after Brittany, in the exact same house, under the same freaky circumstances, pneumonia and anemia. Come on, this is just too much. From the secrecy, the paranoia, to the matching causes of death, whatever was going on behind those walls, it wasn't some random accident. Something darker was definitely going down. Now pause for a second and really think about this. What are the odds that 2 healthy adults living under the same roof would just drop dead from the same thing months apart? Seriously, that's not just tragic, it's straight up suspicious. And when that mold excuse got tossed out the window, oh boy, that's when things took a truly dark and twisted turn. A few years down the line, Brittany's father, Angelo Bertolotti, wasn't having it. He wasn't buying the official story at all. He went rogue and hired a private lab to look deeper into what really happened. And y'all, what they found was straight up chilling. They discovered sky-high levels of heavy metals in Brittany's hair, the kind of stuff you'd find in rat poison or insecticides. Can you believe that? And get this, Angelo outright said he believed his daughter was murdered. But wait, why didn't the original autopsy catch any of this? Well, according to experts, the coroner's office didn't even test for poisoning because, wait for it, no one suggested it. Except Brittany had literally been telling people she thought she was being poisoned. Brittany was literally begging to be taken seriously, and no one listened. Now add in the fact that Sharon and Simon, yes, her own mom and husband, were shutting down investigations left and right. This doesn't just smell fishy. It straight up reeks of a full-blown cover-up. And Sharon, who was living with them and claimed to be super close with Brittany, was acting real shady after her daughter's death. Whispers started flying, and fast. Rumors spread that after Brittany passed, Sharon and Simon got way too close for comfort, like creepily close. And then, boom, Simon dies too. And Sharon, she immediately sells the house and ditches the whole mold story like it never even happened. No calls for deeper investigation, no pushing for justice. Just poof, everything's over. Now come on, if your daughter died under bizarre and suspicious circumstances, wouldn't you be screaming from the rooftops, demanding answers? Why wasn't Sharon fighting for the truth? And this is where the Hollywood tea goes nuclear. Some fans are convinced Sharon and Simon were hiding something huge, but others believe Brittany had even more powerful enemies. Rumors say Brittany got blacklisted for refusing to play the Hollywood game, the one with those freaky, infamous parties tied to Diddy. Yeah, that Diddy. So how exactly did Brittany get caught up in all that mess? Well, let's rewind. Remember her whirlwind romance with Ashton Kutcher? They hooked up back in 2002 after filming Just Married, and rumor had it, they were even engaged. They were spotted rocking matching rings. But plot twist, they split after just 5 months. And why? Allegedly, Ashton cheated on Brittany with none other than Demi Moore. And guess what? Demi was also rumored to be a regular at Diddy's infamous parties. And y'all, the timeline here is messy. Ashton went public with Demi right after his breakup with Brittany. Like, seriously, what are the odds? But buckle up, because it gets even darker. There's fresh speculation that Brittany, just like Kim Porter, might have discovered way too much about what really went down at those parties. Word on the street is Brittany stumbled on some explosive evidence about what Diddy and Ashton were allegedly up to. And yep, there are anonymous sources claiming that this dirt made its way straight to the feds. Could Brittany have uncovered something so damaging that it made her a target? Was she silenced for knowing too much? Y'all, drop your thoughts in the comments. I need to know what you think about this twisted mess. This rabbit hole runs deep, and there's no telling how far it goes. So make sure to like, share, and subscribe if you're craving more of this wild Hollywood tea, and don't miss the next one. It's only going to get crazier. See y'all there.